Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetum desham tathagato hyavatat desham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye swaha. Om hetu prabhava hetum desham tathagato hyavatat desham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetum desham tathagato hyavatat desham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye swaha. Dhyatha om gati gati paragati parasam gati bodhi swaha. Dhyatha om gati gati paragati parasam gati bodhi swaha. Dhyatha om gati gati paragati parasam gati bodhi swaha. Dhyatha om gati gati paragati parasam gati bodhi swaha. Okay. Before we start, I'd like to quickly inform you that for the Bodhicitta, that practically speaking, because of a busy lifestyle and so forth, those of you who are busy with their jobs and so forth, practically speaking for the Bodhicitta, the first book that you read is on the which I mentioned earlier. There are so many other books. You read this first, and if possible, read it two times or three times. And the book by my teacher Venerable Geshe Lobsang Gyaltso, Bodhicitta. The title of which is Bodhicitta, Bodhicitta, the compassionate mind of enlightenment. I think that is the subtitle, but the main title is
Cultivating the compassionate mind of the enlightenment.
Cultivating compassionate mind of enlightenment. Yes. So the main title is the Bodhicitta. So that's the book. Just read this like two or three times, and that will give you a very good picture of Bodhicitta, how to practice. And he himself is a great Bodhisattva. So no doubt. In fact, I've got a very strong feeling about this on, I think, like two or three occasions. Amazing. Okay. And for the emptiness, particularly those who do not have time, I would suggest you to read His Holiness's book, How to See Yourself as You Really Are. How to See Yourself as You Really Are. You read it at least like two or three times, over and over again. You read it three times, at least like two or three times. You must read it, so that will give you a good picture of emptiness. And then you want to go into detail. You want to go into more, say on the more exposition. Then you can go for the other books. Okay. So when we get all these references, then at one point, okay, I have this thing to do, that thing to read, and then finally you don't read any book. So I'll just give you these two things, one for the bodhicitta, one for emptiness. Okay, so this make it a point that you read at least like 2 or 3 times over and over again. And for the emptiness, if you're really excited to reading more than 2 or 3 pages, you're really excited. Otherwise, okay, now I'll finish this. I'll finish. Simply to finish, don't read more. Read maximum like 2 or 3 pages. And this book, I would say recommend you to read like 1 page, maximum 2 pages a day. Keep reading like this. Even if you become so excited, just continue, make it 2. And then next day you like to feel reading more. The enthusiasm is going to be there next time. So this will sustain you, and this will keep you growing. Okay. 1 and so now of the 4 essentials. Of the 4 essentials, what are the 4 essentials? What are the 4 essentials? What are the 4 essentials? The essential of identifying the object negation. What's next? Number 2, essential understanding. Emptiness of the objects being one with its parts. Then objects being different from its parts. Then number 4, essential of understanding the pervasion that anything which is empty of being one with or different from its parts entails the emptiness of objective existence of the object. And what's the conclusion? Emptiness of the objectification of the objectivity of the object is the objectivity of the object. Wow, this is amazing. Wow, okay. Okay, now what does this... Okay, so thus far, we already got the 4 essentials, right? 4 essentials. So in our meditation, we have to include that, right? We have to include the 4 essentials. And the conclusion, let me quickly explain what the conclusion is for you to understand what it meant. So if possible, you take out those points. The points meaning the wording. The wording which says, so that you can make note on this. Okay. I think to explain this again, I need to explain something else, without which this will become a little technical. Okay. First, let us distinguish between ultimate and ultimately. Convention and conventionally. Okay, this we have to write. Ultimate versus ultimately. Convention versus conventionally. You getting it? Okay, what is the first? Ultimate versus ultimately. Okay, ultimate and emptiness, these two are synonymous. Ultimate and these ultimate, emptiness, and ultimate reality, ultimate truth, ultimate reality, these are synonymous. Ultimate reality, emptiness, ultimate truth, these are synonymous. Next, ultimately. With ultimately, there's nothing synonymous there. Nothing exists ultimately, right? Nothing falls under this category ultimately, right? Emptiness is ultimate, but it does not exist ultimately. Emptiness exists. Emptiness is ultimate. Emptiness is ultimate, but it is not. It does not exist ultimately. Emptiness is ultimate, but it does not exist ultimately. Right? Now, what's next? Okay, so what say emptiness is ultimate. Emptiness is ultimate. What did you say? Emptiness is ultimate, but it does not exist ultimately. You remember it? Okay. Now we have to at least have some, okay. So while you are here, so since morning, your mind is just in this atmosphere of ultimately, intrinsically, maybe sometimes debating, fighting, whatever, right? Your mind is just imbued with the spirit, with this atmosphere. So that way, we say something, you understand something. Then later on, after 11 days, you wouldn't believe that what you have really covered. I wrote these notes. I wrote these notes and I don't understand anything what is written there. Who wrote this? Right? This come to you, this happened to you. Okay. So what I would suggest that if possible, you revisit this recording. This is so important, right? Okay. Now the same. Okay, the other one. Let's first finish the other part. Convention and conventionally. Convention and conventionally. So convention and conventional truth. These two are synonymous. Convention, conventional truth, and conventional reality. The truth and reality is more like it's a matter of translation. Conventional truth and convention, these two are synonymous. But conventionally, everything exists conventionally. Everything exists conventionally. Everything exists conventionally, including ultimate truth. Everything exists conventionally, including ultimate truth. Right? Even the ultimate truth also exists conventionally. Right? So ultimate truth, does it exist ultimately? Anyone? Emptiness, is it ultimate truth? Yes. Emptiness, is it ultimate? Yes. Emptiness, does it exist ultimately? Why not? Because it exists conventionally, right? Okay. Ultimate truth, emptiness or the ultimate truth, it exists as ultimate. It is ultimate, but it does not exist ultimately. Why? Because it exists as conventionally. You're getting it? Okay, this much you're able to say this. Now the next point is, what do you understand by this? Emptiness is ultimate. Emptiness does not exist ultimately. What do you understand by this? One. Then conventional truth is convention. It exists conventionally. And everything exists conventionally. Right? What do you understand by this? This question. So for this, right? For this we need to keep in mind, don't forget this analogy of the X-rays. X-ray of ultimate analysis and X-ray of conventional analysis. Don't forget this. We're getting it? Okay. When we say the emptiness is ultimate truth. When you say emptiness is ultimate, did we say this or not? Okay. Now let us do this exercise. From what we learned, right? From what we have learned is anything, okay, let us put it this. Okay, let's say anything that comes, don't forget it. Your X-ray, what is your X-ray? X-ray of ultimate analysis. And your X-ray? X-ray of conventional analysis. Okay, don't forget this. Because your X-ray is ultimate, the X-ray of ultimate analysis, keep this in mind. Okay, don't try to generalize everything. One thing. Anything that comes out of your X-ray, that comes out, which is not put, right? Whatever you put, it doesn't matter. What comes out should be always ultimate truth. Anything that comes out of this X-ray of the ultimate analysis, should be always ultimate truth. Okay. When will the flower come out of this machine? When will the flower come out of your machine? When will the flower come out of your machine? When you put the flower in this machine, the flower will come out. When will the flower come out of your machine? It will never come out, right? It will never come out. Anything which exists, listen, anything which exists, but the moment it puts in the air, anything which exists that never comes out of this machine is known as conventional truth. Because the machine is machine of ultimate analysis. Keep this in mind, right? Anything that exists One qualification that it exists, but anything that exists, but it never comes out from this machine. That is conventional truth. Okay, give me some examples. So you should be expert on this. This group, we should be expert on this. Give me some examples. What does not come out of this machine? Tell me. Some examples. Hey, all of you, one example each. No excuse. Yes, Ziying? Handphone. Very good. Handphone doesn't come out of that. If you handphone, emptiness doesn't come out of that. Okay. Second. Spectacles. Very good. Okay. Anyone from this group? Very quick. Diana or Christian? Huh? Okay. Okay, Diana. A notebook. Very good. Andrew. A pen. Very good. Okay. Then Linda. Watch. Very good. Emptiness never comes out. I see. The flower emptiness. I did not say when you put. I say something which exists that never comes out of the other group. I do not say put in. It is your additional thing. Right? Okay. Something which exists but never comes out of that, the machine. That should be conventional truth. Okay, anyone else? Anyone else? Just raise your hands from this group. Yes. Aeroplane, very good. Chocolate, oh. Very good, chocolate. Okay, very good. Chocolate never comes out, that's true. Yes. Table, very good. Hey. Yeah, the thanga, here the display of the thanga, very good. Books, very good. Cushion, very good. Bag, very good. Huh? T-shirt, very good. Oh, happiness, very good. Okay, Stephen. Speakers, very good. Okay. Elaine. Watch, very good. Okay, Vera. Prayer flags, very good. Okay, Chang. Same object? Okay. Whatever you put in there, then it comes out. Is that ultimate truth or conventional truth? That's true. Same object, whatever you put in there, the same will never come out of that, right? Okay, can you give an example which is existent? Which is existent? Oh, very good. Mr. Chang. Mr. Chang never comes out of this machine. That's true. Don't put Mr. Chang in there. He will never come out of this, right? Okay, that's true. That's very good. So, all those things which are existent, but which never comes out of this machine of ultimate analysis is known as conventional truth. Now, to skip this example, to put it into actual meaning, anything which exists, and yet cannot sustain the ultimate analysis. This is the actual meaning. Anything which exists, but which cannot sustain the ultimate analysis is known as conventional truth. You're getting it? Anything which exists but cannot sustain the ultimate analysis is conventional truth. Okay, right? Okay, what does it mean by that? What does it mean by that? Which means that ultimate analysis means you go towards the object to analyze. Go towards the object, nothing is found there. The things do exist. Things do exist superficially, right? On the surface, just through the perception. Okay, now whereas emptiness of the flower, ultimate to the conventional truth. Ultimate to the conventional truth. Emptiness of the flower. Ultimate to the conventional truth. Ultimate truth. Okay, ultimate truth. So therefore it is not conventional truth. Now, this should be something which is existent but can sustain the ultimate analysis. In other words, which is found by ultimate analysis. How? Say you go in search of the flower and you find the emptiness of the flower. Right? You go in search of the flower objectively. Ultimate analysis is what? You go to search objectively. When you go to this object, instead of seeing the flower, what do you find? You find that the flower disappears. So emptiness of the flower is discovered. Emptiness of the flower is what you find by this ultimate analysis. You're getting it? So anything that exists which is found by the ultimate analysis is known as ultimate truth. You're getting it? Okay. Now tell me, ultimate truth, if this is found by the ultimate analysis, then does it exist ultimately? Why not? Because it exists by the ultimate analysis. Through the ultimate analysis, you find it. No? So what do you mean by the ultimate emptiness of the flower? Emptiness of the flower does not exist ultimately. What do you mean by that? Means when you put the emptiness of the flower, if something exists ultimately, you have to put into this machine, ultimate analysis machine, and you put it there and it should come out of this machine. You put the emptiness of the flower and the emptiness of the flower should come out of this machine. Does it come out or not? It doesn't come out. So therefore, anything that you come, as what Mr. Cheng said, anything you put in this machine, it will never come out from the machine. Emptiness of the object will come out instead. You're getting it? So therefore, if something does exist, if something you put it, and if it does come out of this, if the same object come out of that machine exists ultimately. That object exists ultimately. So whereas when you put will come out of this machine. What is that object? When you put from this machine, the same object will come out of the machine of the ultimate analysis. What will come out? What is that object? What is that? Okay, listen to me again. What is that object? What is that object? When you put from the machine the ultimate analysis, the same object will come out of the machine of ultimate analysis. What object is that? There's nothing. There's nothing. So, if there is something of this kind, that is known as ultimately existent, because nothing, when you put, will come out as the same, so therefore nothing exists ultimately. Right? Okay, now listen. What comes out of that is ultimate. What comes out of that is ultimate. Don't forget it. I'm now distinguishing the two things, ultimate and ultimately. Okay, what is ultimate? What comes out of this machine is the ultimate. Now what is ultimately? What you put. When you say ultimately, you have to consider what you put. What you put, if it comes the same, then what you put ultimately exists. But what you put, nothing comes out the same. So therefore nothing exists ultimately. But is there anything which is ultimate? Is there anything which is ultimate? Hey, is there anything which is ultimate? Yes. What is ultimate? Emptiness. So what made you think that the emptiness is the ultimate? Because emptiness is what is found by this machine. Through this machine, what comes out? Anything that comes out of this machine is ultimate. Do you get it? Anything which is found by the ultimate analysis. Anything which is found by ultimate analysis is ultimate truth. Or ultimate. Anything which is found by the mind and the what? Ultimate analysis is ultimate as well as ultimate truth. Ultimate truth, ultimate, these two are synonymous. You getting it? Okay. Now with this conventional and conventionally. Convention and conventionally. Okay. Convention is what? How do we define that? Convention is anything which exists but which cannot be found by the ultimate analysis. Anything which exists but cannot be found by the ultimate analysis, but instead found by the conventional analysis. Anything which exists, which cannot be found by the ultimate analysis, but found by the conventional analysis, that is known as conventional as well as conventional truth. Okay, now what is conventionally? Right, now we have to go through what is conventionally. Conventionally, for this you have to go to the X-ray 1 of the conventional analysis. Conventionally is anything you put in this machine, if the same thing comes out that exists conventionally. Anything that you put in your machine A of the conventional analysis, and if the same thing comes out, so that object exists conventionally. So tell me, what are the things that when you put in there will come out the same object? Everything. Very good. So therefore everything exists conventionally. When you say everything exists conventionally, implicitly you are saying that nothing exists ultimately. You're getting it? Everything exists conventionally, nothing exists ultimately. One. If everything exists conventionally, then what about emptiness? Emptiness exists conventionally? Oh, that's strange. Emptiness is not ultimate. Emptiness is it ultimate or conventional? Ultimate. So it's not conventional. It's not convention. Right? It is not convention. So therefore it does not exist conventionally. How does it exist conventionally? Tell me. Because when you subject this, now look, I said about this machine, instead of this machine, when you apply this example to the real concept, then if you take this is the emptiness of the flower. If you take the emptiness of the flower as the object of analysis, what does it mean? You are putting it from that machine. You subject this to the analysis. When you see the emptiness of the flower, right? Emptiness of flower. When you see the emptiness of flower, say when you analyze it, emptiness of flower, when you analyze it, then we see that even the emptiness of the flower will also disappear. Let's say, emptiness of the flower, which lasts for 11 days of Bodhicitta retreat. Emptiness of the flower, which lasts for how long? 11 days of the Bodhicitta retreat, which means the duration of the flower of which the emptiness is talking about. Duration of the flower is how long? 11 days. So when you speak about the emptiness of flower, it is which emptiness? Emptiness which spreads for 11 days. Right? Emptiness of flower which spreads for 11 days. First emptiness of flower, second emptiness of flower, third day, fourth, fifth, sixth, ninth, 11 days. Right? Okay. First emptiness of the first day of the flower is not the emptiness of the 11-day flower. Emptiness of the second day flower is not the emptiness of the 11-day flower. 11-day flower is the basis of the emptiness is 11-day spread. Whereas the second day is just 1 day, it's not 11 days. And not 11 days. So you like this, then we say that what we actually experience is just 1 day at a time, not 11 days together. How many of you experience 11 days together? No one, right? So when we experience day 1, the remaining 10 days are yet to come. You are not experiencing it. When you experience day number 2, the first day is gone. Even if you want to experience it, it's gone. And the remaining, how many days? 9 days are yet to come. At the most, you can experience only 1 day at a time, right? So you cannot really experience 11 days altogether. Now with this, we see that likewise, because what you are experiencing is only 1 day at a time. 1 day at a time, you see the emptiness of day 1, emptiness of day 2. These two are not identical. Emptiness of day 3 is not identical with the other emptiness. So we see that these combined together give us the feeling of the emptiness of the flower spread over 11 days, right? Whereas when you go to search, where is this the emptiness of the flower which extends for 11 days? We cannot find it. We cannot find it because they do not exist as one lump sum in one day. 11-day flower, emptiness of the flower of the 11th day, just in one day. You will never see this. So we see that it is spread over 11 days, and 11 days is just composed of 11 parts. 11 parts. So we see that what we call as the emptiness of the flower in the 11 days, it disappears. Just as we see that the flower disappears amidst the atoms which are the parts of the flower. Likewise, the emptiness of the flower one, day one flower, emptiness of the day two flower, emptiness. So when you split into this, then the emptiness of the 11-day flower disappears. You getting it? Okay. So we see that when we subject, for example, the emptiness of flower, subject to the ultimate analysis, even the emptiness of flower will also disappear. You are getting it? Which means that the emptiness of flower, when we subject to ultimate analysis, even that cannot sustain this analysis. Which means that if the emptiness of flower, you put in this machine, right? Emptiness of flower will not come out. What will come out? Emptiness of the flower will come out of this machine. So therefore, the emptiness of the flower does not exist ultimately means that when you subject the emptiness of the flower as the analysis, then even the emptiness of the flower will disappear, and then you will find what? Emptiness of the flower. So therefore, emptiness of flower does not exist objectively. Now, if the emptiness of the flower does not exist objectively or say ultimately, then tell me what then exists. You subject this ultimate analysis, and you will find it. What is that object? What is that object? When you subject this to the ultimate analysis, and you find that object, what is that object? Ultimate analysis or ultimate reality? Nothing. So therefore, this is the meaning of nothing exists ultimately. You're getting it? At the moment you're getting something. At the moment you leave Jambi, it'll disappear, right? So therefore, whereas while you are here, you're getting something. You're getting something, and you have implanted a seed, which is so precious. When you leave, when you go to Singapore, it may disappear. Still, the imprint is there. So now, while the imprint is still fresh, you make sure that you listen to the recordings, not keeping a big distance between this retreat and then listening to the recording. Don't keep a big distance. If you keep a big distance, again it's going to be like just a fresh listening to the attending the retreat. So whereas if you keep a not a long distance, then the imprint will be activated, and then you will understand it more clearly. And then the imprint will be even deeper. Imprint will be much deeper. Then you can, even if you keep a longer distance, still it does not affect as much. Okay. Okay, now the conclusion. Okay, what's the conclusion? What's the conclusion? Hey, what's the conclusion? Emptiness of the objectification of the objectivity is emptiness of the objectification of the... Okay, very good. You are better than me then. Okay, very good. Now let us say, okay, if possible, you try to have it, what you have written must be in front of you. And then we will see a distinction. Okay, the first one is emptiness of the objectification, right? Objectification of the objectivity. Okay, let's say this flower. Okay, look at this flower. Look at this flower. How does it appear to you? Does it appear to you as coming from like a movie coming from the projector, right? You are watching the movie here. You are watching the movie here, facing you, and the projector is where? Behind you. And the movie is actually coming from the projector behind you, but you are seeing the movie in front of you, right? Okay. So say this flower is, this flower is the movie flower. You're watching the movie here, And this flower is actually projected from behind you, the projector. Whereas now, when you look at this flower, how does it appear? Does it appear as though like it's projected by your mind? Or is it exists independent of your mind? How does it appear to you? As independent of your mind. You getting it? As independent. As independent of your mind is the meaning of the objectivity. Right? Okay. Not all objectivity. The second one, objectification of the objectivity. That one. Right? Don't just include everything. Okay. The independent existence is the meaning of the second objectivity. Right? Object, whatever the related words, objectification, objectivity. Okay. The first word which comes as objectivity. What is that? When did it come? When does it come? In what you wrote. Emptiness, the second one. Emptiness of objectification of the objectivity. Right? That one. Objectivity. That means independent existence. Independent existence. So this independent existence or the objective existence, right? Objectivity meaning the objective or independent existence. This is objectified. Is this a reality or the objectification by mind? This objectification by mind is not a reality there. So the first one, objectification means the mind, the ignorance objectifies the flower as objectively existent. The number one, objectification is the act of the ignorance to solidify the flower as objective. Right? So the act of the mind, act of the ignorance to objectify or to solidify the flower as objective. That is the meaning of the objectification. So this objectivity came from the object or by the mind, by the ignorance? By the ignorance. So the ignorance, how does it do? Ignorance is the one which objectifies that independent existence. Independent existence, it does not exist from the object. It exists as objectified by the ignorance. Objectification of the objectivity of the object. What is the object? The flower. Right? The flower. Then what? Is the objectivity. Okay, this is very important. Now, if you buy is what? Emptiness of objectification of the objectivity of the object, that is the objectivity of the object. If you understand this and how you understand this, where your mind feels so much at ease. Wow, it's amazing. If this feeling comes to you, right? I cannot guarantee that you got emptiness, but the fabric of emptiness, the machine of emptiness, the mechanics of emptiness is already in your hand. This is so precious, right? Okay, so now for this part, which part? Which one? The fourth one. Okay, fourth one. Emptiness of objectification, the objectivity of the object. We finished this up to this point. Object is the objectivity of the object. Okay, let's say. Now going back to this example is so helpful, right? The X-ray machine. This example is so helpful. Okay, let's say. In your machine A, machine B, X-ray of the ultimate analysis. In this machine, whatever comes out is what? Ultimate truth or conventional truth? Is always ultimate truth, right? Okay. So now, say, okay. So there is ultimate truth. Okay, if you could remember the two analyses. One is this room is the room of conventionality, right? And the moment you get out of this room, where you are looking for the ultimate domain. You're getting it? Ultimate domain. And you are interested in which flower? The flower coming from the object? I'm not as a philosopher. You as a beginner, not having attended the Bodhicitta retreat even for day one. Right? Imagine, go back in time, day one. Which of the two flowers are you interested? A flower existing from the object or the imaginary flower? Which of the two flowers you are interested? From the object, right? Okay, this is what you want. You want the object from the object, not from the subject. From the subject, I'm not interested, right? Say, okay, if we are very thirsty, say this is say orange juice, okay, and okay, this juice I'll not give you. This I'll drink, but I'll give you another juice. What juice will I give? Are you ready? If you're very thirsty, you'll have a juice. Or I'll give you a mango juice. This orange juice is mine. This is really there. This is mine. I'll give you mango juice. Okay, ready? Imagine a mango juice. Imagine a mango juice. So this is mine. This I'll not give you. Imaginary mango juice I'll give you. Right? Okay, now tell me. Which of the two juices you are interested in? Imaginary mango juice or this real juice? Real juice, not the imaginary. Why? Imaginary is coming from your mind. And you are interested in what is from the object. You're getting it? Okay, the object, objective, coming from the object. Ultimate, from the object. Ultimately, from the ultimately, objectively means from the object. This is what we are interested in. Now imagine that you, which day is today? Today is 7th day. Okay, now you are on the 7th day, right? You're on the what's the proper English? On the 7th day or in the 7th day? On the 7th day. Huh? Okay, Christian, what is the Australian version? What is the Australian version? On the 7th day. Okay, what is the Singaporean version? On? Okay, let's say on the 7th day. Right? Okay. Let's say we are on the 7th day. On the 7th day of Bodhicitta retreat, Jambi. Right? You already are quite exposed to the emptiness, ultimately, and so forth. Okay. Now, this room is a room of conventionality. The moment you get out of this room, you go into the ultimate domain, right? Okay. Now, where do all the things exist? Outside or inside? Inside this room of conventionality. Okay. All these distinctions you have to make. Conventionality, convention, conventional truth, conventionally. All these distinctions you have to make, right? Okay. Say, this is the world of conventionality, and everything exists in this domain of conventionality, which means everything exists conventionally. The moment you go out, you peep through, what do you find? Nothing, right? You are so curious to know what is outside. You are so curious to know what is outside, right? What do you want to know? Tell me. You are so curious to know what is outside. Tell me, what are you interested in? I'm interested to know what is outside. You're getting it? I want to discover what is outside. What do you want to discover? What is outside? What is outside means I want to discover what is ultimately there. I want to discover what is ultimately there, right? Okay. Then you want to see the flower. If this flower that you see in this room is likewise outside there, you peep through the window. What do you see? The flower is not there, which means that you have discovered what? You have discovered that ultimately the flower doesn't exist. Ultimately the flower doesn't. Is this what you discovered? Okay. And you want to see what is in conventional or what is in the ultimate? You want to see what is in the ultimate. This is what you want to see. right? Because of which you peep through outside, you are not looking inside. Now, if you do find something, that should be the ultimate, because you went to see what is ultimate, right? If you do find something, that should be ultimate. What have you found? That nothing exists ultimately. So therefore, nothing exists ultimately is the ultimate. What have you discovered? I've discovered that when I peep through the window of the ultimate, nothing exists ultimately. This is what I've discovered. What you have discovered is the ultimate, because you went to see what the ultimate is. What is the ultimate? Nothing is ultimately. This is what you have discovered. So you went to look for the ultimate and you have discovered that. So that is the ultimate. That nothing exists ultimately is the ultimate. You're getting it? Something sparked? Okay, that is so precious. That is so precious. And even though, right, it makes sense to you just this moment, when you are away from this room, it will disappear. Don't worry, right? Away from this room, it may disappear. Don't worry. And particularly when you reach Singapore, but then it will even become worse. And then when you're in the job, it will still disappear even more. Don't worry. But revisit this recording. This is so precious. You're getting it? Okay, what's the point? You went to see what? You went to see what is ultimately there. You went to see the ultimate. You want to see the ultimate. You want to discover the ultimate. Right? In the process, what have you discovered? That in that domain, nothing exists. Ultimately, nothing exists. This is what you've discovered. So because you went to discover what is the ultimate, and whatever you have discovered should be the ultimate. So what have you discovered? I discovered that ultimately nothing is there. So ultimately nothing is there is the ultimate truth. Right? Is the ultimate truth. Okay, right? Now, going back to the conclusion. Emptiness of objectification, the objectivity of the object is objectivity of the object. So this one, objectivity, right? Objectivity, this is the ultimate truth. This means the ultimate truth. So there are two words with the same, there are two identical words. Objectivity, objectivity two or many, two or more. This word objectivity, how many words are there coming in this conclusion? There are two. The first one means the independent existence, and second one means the ultimate truth. Right? With the same word, the meaning differs. Right? The same word, the meaning differs. Okay, this is so precious. Simply because the word is objectivity, right? Don't always take that as ultimate truth. Sometimes it can mean the word independent existence or objective existence. Sometimes it can mean the ultimate truth, depending on the context, right? Okay, so now to make things very clear, if I were to paraphrase this same conclusion in a very easily understandable, without ambiguity, right? Freed of ambiguity, then we will put it like this. Okay, emptiness of ultimate existence of the object. Now I replace the objectivity with the ultimate existence. Emptiness of ultimate existence of the object is the ultimate truth of the object. Emptiness of ultimate existence, independent existence, they are all synonymous. Emptiness of ultimate existence is the ultimate truth of the object, to avoid all the ambiguities. Right? You got it? Okay, now with this it becomes very clear. So what did you go out to look for? Ultimately, what is there? Ultimately, what is there? This is what you're going to look for. Ultimately, what is peeping through the window? Ultimately, what is there? You're looking for the ultimate existent, right? Ultimate existent thing. And then you're going for the ultimate, to see if there's something ultimate there, and you discover that Nothing's there in that. So, because you went to look for the ultimate and you discovered that nothing is there in the domain. So, nothing existing in the as ultimate existent or nothing existing in this domain. In that domain is the ultimate truth. Right? Okay. Okay, now, can we do 10 minutes? Okay.
Bodhicitta, I'm just wondering your second, the easier way to understand this phrase, it also applies to, if I may say, applies to the phrase like emptiness
Of ultimate existence?
Yeah. So I'm saying that if I were to say that it's emptiness of objectivity of the object, is the objectivity of the object. It seems to me this can also be paraphrased in the second phrase, like
Exactly, yeah, same. Yeah.
It's the same,
so
right?
these two are exactly same. These two are exactly same. In fact, for the time being, don't delete the first one. In fact, never should you delete the first one. First one is so precious. And the second one is the paraphrasing of the first one. And second one will help us greatly to make things easy without ambiguity. Right? It's the same, the first and second.
Bodhicitta, my question is my question is more the fact that can we take out the first. My understanding is that emptiness of the objectification of objectivity of the object, as you mentioned, has to do with the mind, the emptiness of a mind, as well as the emptiness of the independent existence of an object. So I'm just wondering if what you just paraphrased also applies to just the one of the objectivity, not two. I mean,
okay,
no trying to say.
the emptiness of the objectivity of the object is the objectivity of the object.
Yes.
Right? Instead
Yeah.
of emptiness of objectification of the objectivity of the object is the objective of the
Yeah,
object. Okay.
yeah.
So in fact these two are identical. To make it more complicated. Emptiness of objectification of the objectivity of the object is the object of the object. And without delete this objectification, delete this part, the first one, objectification. Emptiness of objectivity of the object is the object of the object. These two are synonymous. To make it more complicated, that word is added. And it does make sense. But even without that, it makes sense. It's same. So therefore, to make it in the most simple, devoid of any complication, is the second one. Once you understand the second one, then as you understand deepens, then you go to the first one. First one, particularly the different wordings. The more the wordings, you see that your mind is going to be, you can go into the nuances and you can solve the ambiguity as well. You can solve the ambiguity as well, and then your mind becomes very sharp, and then you can understand the emptiness very clearly. Okay, now I need another, say like 8 minutes. I need 8 minutes before lunch, or I know the lunch is waiting for you. 8 minutes for the adverts question, right? Adverts question. How? No, this is not the thing. Okay, can we please give us this? Oh no, this is also another thing. I don't know what effort gave me. Okay, the question is pretty simple. Behind this? Huh? Oh, it doesn't matter. I know what. In fact, I've deliberately given the task to you, so that you will be interested to know the answer. Actually, I've noted this in my small book also. It's there. Yeah. So the question is, what exactly is the cognitive obscuration? Right? What exactly is the cognitive obscuration? Last time, thus far, what is our understanding of cognitive obscuration thus far? What do you understand by cognitive obscuration? Anyone? 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 Subtle stains or the inactive seeds, or the subtle stains of the afflictions and contaminated karmas. So that form the cognitive obscuration. This is what we understand thus far. Now, to make it very clear, right? To make it very precise, we need to know. Okay, imagine that you're all wearing blue goggles. Google with blue glasses. Google with blue glasses, right? Okay. Now, you go to the Mount Kailash. What do you see? You will see blue snow, blue Mount Kailash, blue mountain, blue snow. Okay, you will see blue snow. And how many of you will say, wow, this is the first time I'm seeing blue snow, right? I thought that blue snow did not exist. It's actually there on Mount Kailash. How many of you think like this? Or how many of you think that, oh, this is because of the Google? Actually, still it's white. How many of you think like this? Well, those who did not, you have no idea what snow is. Okay, tell me, how many of you would still think that, okay, this is simply because of my glasses, the Google, because of which I'm seeing blue, otherwise it's white. How many of you would be of that kind? All of us, yeah. Okay, this is very simple. Now the next question, right? Okay. How does the snow appear to you, as blue or as white? Blue. And how does your mind engage with the snow? Oh, there's a blue snow, or the snow is white. How do your mind engage with the object? The snow is white. And how does the object appear to you, as blue or as white? As blue. You're getting it? Okay, now let's see that when your mind interacts with the object, when you see this blue, when you see this as beautiful, when this is ugly, when this is nice, good, bad, whatever, right? There's an interplay between the object and the subject. Interplay between the object and the subject. So, what does it mean by interplay? Interplay means there's some action from the object, some action from the subject. Interplay, right? So, what is the action related to the object? Object appears to my mind. Do you agree with me or not? Or my mind appears to the object. Which of the two is correct? Object appears to me, or my mind appears to the object. Which of the two is correct? Object appears to the object. So this act of appearance is the act from the object. Object appears. Act of appearance. This act of appearance is the act related to the object. Now the next one is, oh, yes, the snow is blue. The snow is white. So who says this? The snow says it, or my mind says this? My mind says it. So my mind engages with the snow. My mind apprehends the snow. You're getting it? So there are two acts. One is the act of appearance, act of appearing, and the other one's the act of apprehension, act of apprehending. Your mind apprehends the snow, and the snow appears to the mind. Okay, tell me, what are the two actions related? What are two actions related to the interplay between the subject and the object? One is the act of appearance, and the other one is the act of apprehending. Right? Act of apprehension or act of apprehending. These two acts. So, act of appearance, is it related to the object or to the subject? It's related to the object. And the act of apprehending is related to the object or the subject. Okay, what do you mean by act of apprehending related to the subject, not with the object? What do you mean by that? Because the subject, the mind apprehends, the object does not apprehend. The mind does the act of apprehending. And the act of appearance, you said that it is related to the object. Why do you say this? Because the object appears to the mind, not the mind appears to the object. You're getting it? Okay. Now these two actions, the two actions can be valid, the two actions can be invalid. Right? The two actions can be erroneous, the two actions can be valid. Correct? Now, in the case of this, the snow appears as blue to your eyes because of the goggles, blue goggles. And your mind says the snow is white. Okay. which of the two actions is erroneous? Appearance or the apprehension? Appearance. There's error in the appearance, not with the apprehension. You're getting it? Okay. Now, self-grasping ignorance. Self-grasping ignorance. Okay. Right? When I look at, say, the Mr. Cheng, right? I see Mr. Cheng as objectively existent. First, Mr. Cheng appears to me as objectively existent person. Yes, no? Mr. Cheng appears. Mr. Cheng is my object now. I become the subject. Then, the Mr. Cheng appears to me as objectively existent, and then my mind says that, yes, you are objectively existent. Right? That is, my mind apprehends. Act of apprehension is that it apprehends Mr. Cheng as, hey, objectively, you seem to be so absorbed in emptiness. Yeah. It's amazing. That's so good. Yeah. Okay. So, then your mind apprehends Mr. Cheng as objectively existent. One, the Mr. Cheng appears as objectively existent. One. Now the other act is what? Act of appearance is finished. Now the act of apprehension. Now I apprehend, yes, Mr. Cheng, you are right. You do exist objectively. Now I apprehend Mr. Cheng as objectively existent. You are getting it? Which of the two actions is wrong? Appearance or the apprehension? Both are wrong. So, pertaining to the objective existence, if both are wrong, that is self-grasping ignorance. Pertaining to the object, if the appearance and the apprehension both are wrong, then it becomes self-grasping ignorance. I see yen, right? I see yen as yen appears objectively real, and then I said, yes, you are objectively real. I appears as objectively real, and I apprehend also as objectively real. So the two both are erroneous pertaining to objective existence. That becomes the self-grasping ignorance of grasping yen as objectively existent. Self-grasping ignorance. Okay. Now, whereas, say, you realize emptiness. At one point, right, because of, say, 11-day retreat, right, and then you feel so thankful to Wenla organizing this program, right, and then you meditate and then you realize emptiness in 2 days, right, you realize emptiness, okay, now everything is illusion-like, right, nothing is there objectively real, okay, so when you come to this realization, your eyes do not realize emptiness. It is your mental consciousness. You're not your eyes. Your eyes will continue to see things as objectively real. You're getting it? Your eyes will continue to see things as objectively real. Your senses, all the 5 physical senses, will continue to have the perception of objective reality. Will continue to see things as objectively real. Okay. Now what happens? What happens is that, okay, say when you see Andrew, Andrew appears as objectively real, continuously appears objectively real. But you realize emptiness. Because you realize emptiness, and then it becomes so stable. Usually it takes, say, many, many years, and in some cases, many lifetimes to have a stable experience of emptiness. But in this case, right, because of this very special group, it just takes 2 days to have a very stable experience of emptiness, right? Now in 2 days, you look at Andrew, and Andrew appears as objectively real. Okay, keep this in mind. Only if you are a Buddha, you are exempted. Otherwise, whenever any conventional truth appears to your mind, any conventional truth appears to your mind, it should necessarily appear as objectively real. Don't forget it. Except for the Buddhas. Or in other words, I will not say except. I will put it in a very the proper generalization. Right? except for the non-dual mind. Except for the non-dual mind, when any object appears or any conventional truth appears, it should necessarily appear as objectively real. Or if you want a bigger generalization, except for non-dual mind, anything that appears to the mind, it should necessarily appear as objectively real. Except for the non-dual mind, anything that appears to your mind should necessarily appear as objectively real. You're getting it? Okay. Now, say we, after having a non-dual experience of emptiness, right? Mornings when we do the Vajra Moon practice, then you have non-dual experience of emptiness after 2 days, right? And then you come out of the meditation. Now you're no more in non-dual. You are in a dualistic world. In this dualistic perception, things continue to appear to your mind. Yes, no? And your experience of emptiness is very stable, right? Yet, because of what we said now, anything that appears to a mind which is not non-dual should necessarily appear as objectively real. Right? With this qualification, we come to know that anything that appears to a mind, although your experience of emptiness is so stable, that comes to your mind, appears to my mind. The food appears to my mind. Food appears to my eyes. The food appears as objectively real. Right? Now your mind, does your mind approve the appearance? No, because you have a very profound experience of emptiness, and the experience of emptiness is emptiness experience is very stable. So you see that this is deception. Although the food appears as so objectively real, although Andrew appears as so objectively real, this is deception. There's no objective existence. So your mind, when it engages with the object, it does not engage with the object as objective real, but the object appears as objective real. Now tell me, which error is there? Error in the appearance or error in the engagement? Error in the apprehending? Appearance, right? Now the error pertaining to the objective existence, if the error happens on the appearance, not on the apprehension, error happens with the appearance, not with the apprehension, that is because of the cognitive obscuration. That is a form of cognitive obscuration, right? Error in the appearance, not the engagement, not the apprehension. Error not in the apprehension, but error in the appearance, error in the appearance of the objective existence, that is a part of cognitive obscuration. That is, I would say, this is because of the cognitive obscuration. That is because of the cognitive obscuration. You're getting it? Okay, now the arahats, they already abandoned self-grasping ignorance, right? And then in the deep meditative experience, non-dual experience, okay, it's fine. Appearance, apprehension, both are errorless, without error. Now when they come out of the meditation, they teach, or so they rest, they go about for arms round and so forth. There what happens? Object continues to appear to the dual mind. You're getting it? Dual mind. So how do they appear? Objectively or subjectively? Appears objectively. So what error is there? Error in the appearance or in the apprehension? Appearance. So that error which the arahats have, arahats will never say that things exist objectively, because they know that things don't exist objectively so clearly, right? But they, despite this very profound knowledge, things continue to appear as objectively real. So that is because of the cognitive obscuration. Right? Cognitive obscuration. Okay. This is very important for us to know. Okay, we'll stop here for lunch. 3 prostrations.